The Truther Girls.
Hi everyone, Truther Girl Sonia here. So will September 23rd mark the beginning of the apocalypse? Some people seem to think so. So this story originates in two sources. One, the calculations of David Meade, and two, a viral video connecting an upcoming astrological event to biblical prophecy. I'm going to be honest with you, when I first saw this headline, I was just kind of like, oh, the end of the world, I've seen it all before. But being curious, as I am, I had to check it out. And it turned out that some of it is the usual, and some of it is kind of really interesting. So I'm going to tell you all about it. So let's deal with David Meade first. David Meade is a statistician and an author whose main claim to fame are his books and predictions about Planet X, aka Nibiru. According to Meade, the total eclipse on August 21st marked the beginning of the apocalypse. And he says that Nibiru will collide with the planet Earth on September 23rd, 2017. So where does he get this idea? Well, for one, he points to Bible verses in Isaiah 13 to support his claim. See, the day of the Lord is coming, a cruel day with wrath and fierce anger to make the land desolate and destroy the sinners within it. The stars of heaven and their constellations will not show their light. The rising sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. So he takes it to mean that this is referring to the eclipse and that the apocalypse will follow. Quote, when the eclipse begins on August 21st, the sunrise will be dark just as Isaiah predicts. The moon involved is called a black moon. These occur about every 33 months. In the Bible, the divine name of Elohim appears 33 times in Genesis. He added, the eclipse will start in Lincoln Beach, Oregon, the 33rd state, and end on the 33rd degree of Charleston, South Carolina. Such a solar eclipse has not occurred since 1918, which is 99 years or 33 times 3. So clearly he figures that the number 33 is featured prominently in this event and that this is of some significance. Personally, I find that's a very American-centric interpretation. I wouldn't put any stock in it, and it actually reminds me of how Cousin Squeaky picks his lottery numbers.
This thing's a winner. The last two digits were 37. If you reverse that, that's 73, the year I was born. 32 and 35, okay? 3 plus 2 is 5, my 5th month. 35, 3 plus 5 is 8, equals 37. Reverse that, 1973. I was like, I got a winning ticket.
Yeah, and by the way, he hasn't won yet. Now, there are other Bible verses that are coming into play here that people are taking to show that some of the recent events are indicating that we're coming into the end times, into the tribulation. One popular Bible quote currently making the rounds as evidence is Luke 21, 25 to 26. Okay, verse 25 says, there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world, for the heavenly bodies will be shaken. And 26 says, men's hearts failing them from fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So the eclipse was on August 21st. Hurricane Harvey hit Texas on August 25th. And flooded Houston on August 26th. So some people are connecting this to Luke 21 verses 25 and 26. Okay, and there's one more thing in there, which is the question some people are asking, will there be a 3-hour eclipse on September 23rd, 2017? And they're referring to another Bible verse, Matthew 27, 45 to 50. I'll tell you honestly, none of these three things really resonate with me. I find it's a lot more, the same. If, doomsday's coming, which we hear all the time. To me, it seems like just more of the same of what we get on the internet all the time, of people looking at a verse and saying, well, this could tie into this event or that could tie into that event, but it's just someone's interpretation, and I just don't see anything really solid. However, let's get to that viral video, because that one I found was quite interesting. Okay, I'm gonna get to the video, but first I just want to touch on the mainstream media and how it's reporting on this. Biblical prophecy claims the world will end on September 23rd. Christian numerologists claim. First of all, again, they're referring to David Meade, but in the article they're bringing up the other issue. For a certain branch of evangelical Christianity, Revelation 12 verse 1 to 2 describes the beginning of what is known as the rapture and the second coming of Christ. Well, sort of, as you'll find out. See, this is where they're not reporting accurately. The passage reads, "And a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She was pregnant and crying out in birth pains and the agony of giving birth." In the passage, the woman is Virgo. On September 23rd, both the sun and the moon will be in Virgo, as will the planet Jupiter. However, this occurrence happens naturally once every 12 years. There is also a rare alignment known as the Lion of the tribe of Judah, which the conspiracy theorists are hanging their hats on. Okay, it doesn't sound very convincing, right? They're bringing up this verse, but you know there's more to it. And this is where the video comes in. So the video is called September 23rd, 2017. You need to see this. Date setting a sign, not rapture. So of course the mainstream media says, oh, they're saying it's the rapture. But the original, the video, which was originally reporting on this, said it's not the rapture. So to sum it up for you, on September 23rd, an astrological event is going to appear over Israel. So the video explains that the woman is the constellation of Virgo. And in the Bible, she is described as being crowned with 12 stars. The constellation of Virgo is going to be crowned actually with 9 stars plus Mercury, Mars, and Venus, which are 12 in total. Plus the moon is under her feet, so to speak, astrologically. And she is clothed with the sun. As you see the sun, as you see the constellation going down, the time of the setting sun, she will be clothed with the sun, like she's following the sun. So it corresponds. And the male child, they say, is Jupiter, which is in Virgo's womb for 9 months, the length of a human pregnancy. So Jupiter is actually inside the constellation of Virgo, where it would be inside her as a woman, where her belly would be. So that's how that turns into her being with child. So it's a little bit more than both the sun and moon being in Virgo, as well as the planet Jupiter, which occurs every 12 years. It's a little more than that. It seems to actually play out pretty much exactly the way it's described in Revelation. And the video says that this has never happened before. Not in this way. So in the Bible, as you know, the virgin gives birth to a male child who will rule all nations with a rod of iron. So this is the Antichrist. In the Bible, the Antichrist comes into power at the beginning of the 7-year tribulation. So if this astrological event actually marks the birth of the Antichrist, this would tell you that we're actually not anywhere near the destruction of the planet. We're not in the tribulation. We're not in the apocalypse, because it's only his birth. He's going to rule the nations as an adult, right? So it could be the beginning of something. This is what I find interesting, that if this astrological event is accurately describing what's in Revelation, that would mean the Antichrist would be being born in September of this year. Not that the tribulation is starting, not that the rapture is happening, nothing like, not that we're going to get hit by Planet X because of the number 33 appearing in different places, again, based on American geography, which... why do people take the Bible as being centered around what happens in America? So, but this is something else. So if this is accurate, then it's possible that the Antichrist can be born in September, which would mean that we would be seeing him rule the nations with a rod of iron some years down the road. How many years, we don't know. Could be 40, 50, 60, 70. But I'd say that's, that's something to keep an eye on. But the good news is we're not going to die next week. And the good news is also that this kind of rules out Trump, Obama, or even Gorbachev as being the Antichrist. Every time somebody gets elected, people say it's the Antichrist, and then turns out it's not. So clearly, if this astrological occurrence is accurate, well, nobody we have ruling the earth right now can be the Antichrist, because they were all born a long time ago. Anyway, I thought this was quite interesting after all. So let me know what you think. And thanks for giving me a thumbs up. And thanks for listening to me. And I'll see you next time.